That sounds like a no. Oh.
All right, everybody give me their best.
What? We didn't even do a mic check for Tom and me.
This is the mic check.
Oh.
Everybody give me your best welcome to Jumanji.
At the same
One
time?
at a time.
Jimmy first.
Welcome to Jumanji. Nope.
Whoa.
Did not happen.
I don't know if that'll make the cut. All right, Tom.
Joe sounds like he's already got it in the bag.
You
so
just do
we'll
it.
see.
Just
Come
do
on.
it.
Welcome to Jumanji.
It's pretty good. Welcome to Jumanji.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not
Sweet.
British.
So
Neither is Reese Darby, but okay.
Well, he does a good impression.
let's
From New
do.
Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
So we're going to do
New Zealand.
New
all of
Zealand.
that together.
Welcome to Jumanji.
That's how the show's going to open. All right.
Welcome to Jumanji.
No.
We have spoken.
All right.
I nailed it.
This is the way. Yeah.
Just freeze up and do
That
it.
would only make sense.
You get the wrong. Oh, they said something towards the end. And I almost looked at you guys and I was like, that's the saying. That's the saying.
Of this episode?
From Jumanji or
From Jumanji.
Oh.
Oh,
It
I
was
was
something
like
that was very Mandalorian.
We haven't watched Mandalorian
It was like,
yet.
it was like the sayings that we've been
Yeah,
adding every
yeah.
week, and that's kind of how it was. I don't remember.
what the
No, I should have.
This is the way.
I should have actually looked at you guys, but I didn't. So we're gonna do the welcome to Jumanji. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Jumanji. Got
We
it.
can do that, yeah.
You got that,
Mess it
Tom?
up.
Yeah. Did you already sync the
Guys, we'll do this as many times as we need
audio
to.
and the visual?
I did. I did. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to Jumanji. That was really good. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Geekiverse's Spoilercast for Jumanji. I don't remember what the name of it is. Hang on.
the next level?
Next level. Hang on. Stupid computer problems. All right. So, yes, we'll try that again. Welcome to Jumanji, the next level Spoilercast. So, if you can't tell by the title. Spoilers. What are spoilers?
Poidle.
It's been a day. Let me tell you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we just saw Jumanji. If you have not seen the movie and care about spoilers, bookmark this podcast or video. Circle back to it when you have watched the movie. So, first of all, I got to credit this just beautiful, amazing look here today. 2 things. I get a wonderful, refreshing haircut from my cousin earlier. So good job, Christy Norman. Wanted to say Christy McGee there. You have me looking fresh. Look at this. Look at this. Can you do that?
No.
Tom?
I just don't want to.
Well, fine. Also, this beautiful sweater. Hang on, I'll stand up real quick. Yep. Ow! Cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, what do you think?
It's great.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
How would you describe it?
Christmas.
One word.
Santa.
Festive was the right answer. But
There was one answer.
there's always one answer. So thank you. Very good friend of mine, Mariah Mergler, who I refer to as Mama Jamma, for basically providing the wardrobe for this. She asked for a shout out and shout out received. So, Jumanji, what did we think of this movie? Let's get into it. First reactions, we're going to Jimbo. I should have said also, I guess. I didn't do introductions.
No.
The whole
You
welcome to
always
Jumanji
do.
thing threw off.
Welcome to Jumanji.
I'm just totally out of my sorts today. It's been cray.
Yeah.
So I'm Josiah Leroy. With me, Jamie Leroy, no relation.
No.
Tom Colbert,
Also here.
right there.
Also no relation.
I don't know where.
No relation either.
No, there's relation.
Oh, that's
No, there's relation.
Just made things really weird,
All
really
right.
fast.
Yeah.
It's what I do.
No one knew what to say for a second.
Oh, I finally have it looks like a turtleneck. It's really not. It's like
Like
a
a
quarter
mock
zip, but I
neck.
can kind of like do that thing. And my hair's a little floppy, so I can do that. So the
Ooh, you
movie.
got hair everywhere.
What do we think of it?
Oh, I thought it was awesome.
Do we like it better than the predecessor?
No, I like the first one better.
I think so too. I'll get into my reasoning why, but for this one specifically, what'd you like?
What I liked. I liked how. Oh, hi.
Just moving there a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I liked how. I'm trying to think of the right word for it. How pliable all the actors were.
Eat the mic. Eat it.
You make me shout.
Exactly.
But yeah, I liked how flexible all the characters or the actors were. Jack Black and Dwayne Johnson, they had to play so many different characters, and I thought they did such a good job.
Lots of versatility on this one, right? Like
For sure.
the entire ensemble was wonderful, and they all had to kind of jump into all these different roles.
Yeah.
Basically, you had to work on impersonations.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Yeah.
I think that was
Jack
not an
Black
easy thing
was-
to do.
Oh my gosh, he was so good.
I'll circle around. I don't want to answer this now, but think about who was your favorite character in this movie. Like, what was your favorite iteration?
Okay,
So we'll do that after impressions here.
sure.
Tom, overall thoughts? Did you like it better than the last one? How did you like this one?
I liked it. It was on par with the previous film. I don't think I liked it better. I mean, it was definitely a little more in depth with actor abilities and with a little bit deeper of a storyline. We kind of got more of what are these characters going through as opposed to the last one.
Take that off. Sorry. Hang on. If you're listening to the podcast, it's not really that creepy.
No, it's fine.
Just gonna take this off, everybody.
It's just my holiday sweater.
Oh man.
So no, it was good. I'm glad we went. I enjoyed it. Again, I think the first one was slightly better, but overall, 2 thumbs
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
These two worked really well together as just two movies with mostly the same cast. Obviously, we had a nice add-on in the form of a few actors and actresses here. But I like the first, when we say first one, or when I say first one, I'm just talking about the previous Jumanji film with this cast. I like that one a little bit better. I thought that was more of a fun movie, if you will. Not that this
Oh,
was
yeah.
lacking fun.
Agreed.
But there was some nice emotional cues. I really got emotional towards the end of it, actually.
Oh, yes.
If Danny DeVito can make you tear up.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good
I
movie.
love Danny DeVito.
But to be fair, it was Aquafina playing Danny DeVito.
No. I'm talking about Danny DeVito.
Oh yes, okay.
When Danny DeVito was being Danny
At the
DeVito.
very end. Okay. Yep.
I like Danny DeVito. He's a knucklehead. It was good to see him here. Underrated Christmas movie that maybe it's rated appropriately, but Deck the Halls. It's
Yeah.
one that I always like to watch. That comes to mind with him. So
It's funny to me in that movie that there is somebody taller than him, or that there is somebody shorter than Kristen Chenoweth, who plays his wife.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
How tall is Danny DeVito? Do we know?
No.
Let's see.
4 something. I gotta say.
4'6".
He's married to Rhea Perlman, who is.
Still, for some reason, I thought they were not.
Oh, maybe not. I thought. Oh no, yeah.
Oh, it was close.
Okay.
Married in 1982.
So
Yeah.
4'10".
Oh wow, yeah.
He's 75. Just
Who
turned
was-
75.
Carla, which we mentioned on.
Cheers.
No,
Speaking of
we mentioned Carla on Cheers, which we mentioned on We Have Spoken.
the
Okay, good.
the Cheers-averse, if you will.
Ooh.
We saw another character from that, right? Frasier's wife at the end,
Oh yes.
Lilith. That was
Lilith.
Are you familiar with Cheers and Frasier? Very
Cheers,
much.
yes. Frasier, the show itself, no.
Gotcha. Well, it's good
Smartest
because
show
no
on
one would
television.
probably waste their time with it, right, Seth and Nate?
Yeah, probably not.
I like Frasier. Seinfeld's way better.
I liked Frasier in Cheers.
Sure. Frasier's a good character.
I guess it's funny that it's a spin-off of Cheers, and a lot of people don't realize that.
No, not at all. It's probably the best spinoff
Because it's
ever,
very good
right?
on its own. Yeah, you don't need to have seen Cheers.
Like, that's the testament saying that you don't know that it was in existence.
Mm-hmm.
So we had all these actors and actresses play numerous roles throughout the movie here. What was your favorite one? Like, for example, this actor playing this persona. Mine, I think I have 2 answers. One would be Jack Black as the girl that
Bethany?
I'm forgetting. But yes, as Bethany. And then I liked Kevin Hart when he was playing Danny Glover's.
Milo?
Yes.
Yes.
Those 2 were probably my favorite.
I have to agree on actually both of them because Jack Black as Bethany was so good in the first one. He was my favorite.
highlight.
Yeah, he was my
Or one
favorite
of them.
character there too. So to bring it back, when he wasn't Bethany in the beginning of their travel through Jumanji this time, I was kind of sad when he was Fridge.
Yeah, same.
But
I thought that was a
I'm
waste
glad they
almost
changed it.
at first. It ended up making sense. I liked Karen Gillan when they switched characters midway through the film. I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I love Karen Gillan. I'm becoming a huge fan of hers, and I have over the years now, ever since Guardians and the Avengers movies. She plays such a prominent role as Nebula, but I love her in these movies too. I don't know. There's something about her.
Yeah.
She's easy to get behind, I think.
Yep. She's really versatile, and She must be trained in like a lot of martial arts and stuff like that because she's really good at all of them.
For sure. And
Does
I believe
she do her own stunts?
I believe she does. I'm not sure she does them all, but I think she does a fair amount of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, not at all. So the story kind of picks up quickly in this one, right? We get to
yes.
the intro, and then really we jump right in. We know these characters already, and you didn't have to. You can go into this movie without having seen the previous one. I'll say it enhances your experience probably a lot if you did see the previous Jumanji film. But that being said, you can go into it and just enjoy it for what it is. So the story kicks off, and we're jumping back in. Spencer's not happy with his life, and he kind of wants to get away, right? He wants that experience of how he felt last time around. And then quickly the story becomes a race to go save him and pull him out of that world. What do we think of that premise? Anything that was lacking with it? Do we like how it just cut to the chase? Give me your thoughts.
Couple of the characters. I mean, Spencer and his grandpa both had that. Like they weren't happy with their lives for different reasons, so they both kind of needed this escape to go to this.
Yeah, that's a great
of,
parallel there.
Yes. I forgot what I was going to say with that one, but basically they wanted to, Spencer's grandpa wanted to be younger, and Spencer wanted to be basically brave again and kind of feel that that power again of kind of knowing who he was as, even though it was a character. So it was nice to kind of see them realize that they didn't obviously have to be that character to be themselves. That whole kind of idea.
Awkwafina was really good as him. So early in like her first role that we see, that's where we meet
I thought
Alex
she was
Wolff,
better than
right?
The Rock.
Yeah, I gotcha.
As playing Spencer's grandpa.
Yeah,
She was
no,
lined up really well, personality-wise, and she was finicky and awkward.
She was so good at Spencer. Yeah, you could tell it was him when you first saw her trying to escape after stealing things.
Yeah, they were. I mean, that right off the bat was awesome. I thought. Dwayne Johnson here is Dr. Smolder Bravestone. He, I love Dwayne Johnson. I'm a big fan of his. Obviously, he's in a million movies. Feels like he is in just about everything that you see nowadays.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah, he really is. I did prefer his performance last time. I thought, even think back to the trailer when he's looking around and he's like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. I thought that was pretty funny. He didn't quite cut it as much in terms of awkwardness this time, but maybe he didn't have to, because maybe Spencer was more accustomed to being that guy and he wanted to be that guy and feel like that guy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of just him saying like what and misunderstanding things with a New York accent, which he did a great job.
Well, when he was Eddie. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're talking about Spencer.
Well, let's get into that. So when Dwayne is Eddie and Kevin Hart is Danny Glover's character,
Milo.
So Dwayne and Kevin specifically, those guys are a great duo. They are, for Pavlak and I always say this, they're kind of like the Chan and Tucker these days of this generation. Their chemistry is great. They're hilarious together. The dichotomy between a huge Dwayne Johnson and just a little Kevin Hart is always funny to me, right? So let's talk about those two together in this. It worked last time, but here they're more highlighted because they're the old guys. So let's talk about that. How funny was that relationship? What are some of the funnier interactions between those two? How did it work? So Dwayne's got the accent, right? The Danny DeVito kind of accent, which is funny. And then to pull off the smooth talking kind of old Danny Glover, as I mentioned, Kevin Hart just nailed it. And it was so funny because so many times he would talk so slow and you were like, oh my gosh, finish your sentence.
Yes.
So mission accomplished on his part, right?
Oh, yeah, he did great. I thought it was hilarious in the beginning of their trip to Jumanji when Fridge and Martha are trying to explain to the older guys that they're in a video game and they just aren't getting it. And they just keep saying, what? And every time, Nigel? Every time Nigel tries to say something to them, who was it? Milo kept like connecting it with things in his life, thinking that he was somebody they knew. If I'm understanding correctly, that's his sister.
Jumanji is his sister. Yeah, that was really good.
There's something about the this NPC kind of thing that we see in movies, which is just like hilarious. Where like they're very limited in with what they can do, where they can move, what they can say, which gets me excited for that Free Guy movie coming out with Ryan Reynolds. But
100%.
I love seeing like these NPCs are kind of coming up and they're non-playable characters. They're just kind of there for support to help the game move along. And you just know they're going to say something either repetitive or stupid, but it's still funny.
Yes.
Like just having, you're like, oh, here he comes to finish the game off, or oh, here he comes to kind of progress us along a little bit, and like then and the characters being self-aware, knowing that they're NPCs is funny too, because they're like, well, we have to say the right thing, and it's a very unique and fun acting style. So
yeah.
I definitely agreed with the NPC thing. I thought that was a lot of fun to focus on that. There was more. Maybe just a little bit more focus on video game kind of dynamics in this one.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
I would.
Mm-hmm.
Where all the, I guess, stereotypes, whether it's an NPC or like they kind of get stuck on things or they're trying to lead you to clues. One thing I noticed was when Jack Black and Kevin Hart are playing the brothers as they get to the gate, the people that are there are asking them if they are the brothers. And they're confused, and they ask them again, and slowly they're starting to pull their weapons out. And I feel like that's a very video game thing, where it's like, get this right, you screwed up. They're going to take their weapon out now. Like, that was a really cool thing. And you're right, it got me excited very much for Ryan Reynolds' upcoming movie there. Let's see here. So I wanted to also interject here with some of the box office projections for Jumanji: The Next Level. So tonight we saw this, or actually, we saw it Friday. By the time you're seeing this came out on Thursday, and it came out, according to Variety.com, to a $4.7 million opening, which is very, very good. For a movie like this, too, especially. Not a huge budget by today's standards. Kind of, it's not for the hardcore audience, right? It's not like we're lining up to see Star Wars or the next Marvel movie here. But that being said, the reason we have this movie is because Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle in 2017 was such a hit. So the good news here is forecasts are saying that we're going to be in the $45 million range for this movie, whereas we were at $35 million at this time for Welcome to the Jungle. So that's good news, right? Early projections are saying this is going to gain some steam. The final box office run for this, I just had this up, was $962 million, which is unbelievable.
Wow. Think
Think about that. For a movie like this with a budget probably about $100 million, that's incredible. To put that in perspective, you had Rogue One, Force Awakens, and Last Jedi all across in the $1 billion range.
Wow.
This is pretty close to that.
Wow.
Joker just passed $1 billion. Another huge recent success at the box office. Do you guys think that this one finds the legs to get at least to that 962, surpass it, or not quite? What do we think?
I think it'll probably drop off slightly just because there's not as much of a hype around this where, like you said, people aren't lining up to see this. People weren't like waiting for Jumanji Next Level to come out.
You're probably not going to see it.
We're kind of excited about it, but no one's rushing. The theater we were at, there wasn't that many people there. So I think the numbers will kind of spike a little bit and then it'll kind of smooth itself out. But
I kind of feel like there's a different kind of excitement for this one, not necessarily more or less from my point of view. The thing was for how I felt in 2017, Last Jedi came out before Jumanji. Mm-hmm. Here, this one jumped out in front of Rise of Skywalker. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not when we see these results in just a few weeks or even as we get into January. But with Last Jedi, I felt like we had seen so many movies that were just great throughout the year, and it was a string of movies every other week, it felt like. And then we got to the end, and we needed just something that was nice and relaxing and laid back, and you don't have to think about it. And I feel like a lot of people wanted to see it around Christmas time because that's when it came out.
Sure.
Here with this one, do you think Rise of Skywalker being after it affects it at all?
Possibly. I know with Star Wars and Marvel and the big movie series like that, people go to see it 2 and 3 times at the theater, but with something like Jumanji, I probably wouldn't go again.
No.
I'd wait for it to come out on Blu-ray.
That's a good point. So people like me who saw Last Jedi 3 times in theaters
Yeah.
probably contribute a lot to the final box office number. With this one, it's maybe a wider range of people just seeing it once.
Sure.
So it's really good. I hope that it does well enough to get another sequel. Do we want to talk about kind of the the end of the movie in terms of if we think we're going to get that sequel, what we think it might look like?
Yeah, so at the very end, the man comes to fix the heater in the house, and he sees the video game system, and he sees that it's busted, and he doesn't know what it is, even though he's a video game buff.
That was Winston, right?
Yes, it was Winston from New Girl.
And he was in Christmas Chronicles.
Yes.
He's one of the cops.
Yeah, he's getting pretty popular.
You guys know him in something else too, maybe?
I don't know.
Okay.
He
I'm
looked
sure that
very
we did.
familiar, but I'm not sure what he was in.
I'm sure he's in a lot of things that we've seen. Yeah, look him up.
Okay.
So he touches the video game system, and instead, I was so worried that he and the mom were going to get sucked into the game, but instead of that, I'm pretty sure they brought the game out into the real world because the ostriches, right?
Yes.
Ran down the street, and the kids all saw it, so they know what's happening.
Yeah.
That leaves it wide open for another movie.
So actor's name is Lamorne Morris, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But continue.
Which that kind of brings us full circle with, I mean, this technically is the third movie because they are continuing it. Was this considered a second movie in a reboot, or is this considered a trilogy
I would
right now?
consider...
I don't think it's a reboot. They
They addressed the first Jumanji in the first one.
So, like, if we think about, like,
Alan Parrish.
it's funny to say, but, like, the canon storyline,
Yeah.
like, it's all in the same universe.
Yeah, they didn't
Right.
redo it.
So, my opinion would be if you numbered them, this was number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
This was
So-
Jumanji 3,
They
so
just
we'd be looking to
continued
Jumanji 4.
So on that note, they kind of set it up to do a full loop of, hey, in the original Jumanji, you know, with Robin Williams, the game comes out of the game and into the real world, and they have to finish the game outside of it to get it all to go back how it is. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of the game, how they're going to play it, if they have to, you know, play it on a TV and then go find it in the real world, or what they're going to end up doing.
Ooh, yeah.
How many players are going to be involved now? Are the characters that we've been seeing, everything from, what's it, Smolderface? What's his name?
Dr. Smolder, Bravestone.
I like Smolderface better.
Smolderface.
That's better than
anything
Taserface.
from Bravestone.
Taserface.
Anything from Bravestone to the horse, you know,
Yeah.
coming out and us seeing
Yeah.
those actual characters again.
Maybe with their
Or
own
if they
personalities.
have to be played, you know, by the kids. Like, it's going to be interesting to see the kids interact with who they were playing and who they want to be. So, just a fun thought. But I told you in theaters, there's that rumor about Jack Black being done with movies, so we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, let's talk about that quick. So I had not heard this, but why don't you introduce
I
that
don't,
here?
don't have any sources, but I read a couple things online. It was all over Facebook today. That Jack Black, it's rumored that Jack Black wants to stop making movies to make another Tenacious D album. And this might be his last movie.
Ever?
I mean, at least for a while.
Okay.
But
Well, there were
all
2
they kept
years
saying was
between
last
these.
movie. So we'll
There were
see
2
what he
years
says.
between these Jumanji movies, so if he were to make another album, maybe he would revisit it later on if they asked him to.
Could be.
I don't know.
Or they could just drop his character off. I mean, there's things they could do, but it would be interesting to see what he does, because I love everything that Jack Black does. I mean, from music to movies, he's just great overall.
I gotta watch The Holiday again.
Oh, yes.
I love that
loved
movie.
him in The Holiday. That's what I thought of, too.
Nacho!
And Nacho Libre.
I love Nacho Libre.
I don't know if I've ever seen that movie.
Oh my god.
To revisit Lamorne Morris, he was in Game Night,
Oh, yep.
which
yep.
was a great movie
Ooh, I like that one.
with
I bought that one on Black Friday.
Jason Sudeikis. Who else is in that? That's such a
That's
good
it.
movie.
That is a really good movie.
And he's also in Yesterday, which I haven't
so
seen yet.
I watched Game Night on the way home from E3 one year, and man, so we had like a red eye flight, and that kept me up.
It's like stressful.
I was really excited about that movie,
It was
and
so
I won't spoil anything because that's a movie that has spoilers. Wouldn't think so.
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
man, was that well thought
Oh,
out.
it was so good. I love that movie.
That is an underrated movie.
It was fun.
That if you haven't heard of it, go see it.
I think it's weird that he's credited. This is Lamorne Morris again. He's credited for both Yesterday, the movie that came out this year about the Beatles, and Jumanji, The Next Level, as the character Steven.
Typecast.
No, I'm pretty sure he just doesn't have a name in Jumanji, but it just looked like they were both Steven.
Yeah, he made. I don't even know if he was credited or not.
Repairman.
So I wonder if he means anything as we move into the next movie.
Yeah.
Like, he's too big a name, I feel like, nowadays to not be
Yeah.
in it. Pretty widely recognized for various different things. So maybe you said this to me as soon as the movie wrapped. Maybe we get another movie where the kids get to star in it. Was it? I don't know.
No, that wasn't me.
Okay, someone else that came up to me and talked to me. Maybe it was
Did they look like me?
another long-haired freak. So how fun would that be if we get to see kind of our main kids, I say kids, they're all in college now, get to star in a movie like that.
That would
actually be the people.
Cool.
Because really, think about how much screen time they've had. They've been a few minutes at the beginning and a few at the end of each of these.
Yeah.
Actually, it could go the other way around where the personalities of the characters actually go into the kids. Where we actually get,
I would like to see that a little bit.
We get Smolderface actually going to the kid to make him, feel brave and powerful and confident in himself. And then we kind of can...
Do they get the skills too?
I hope
Because
so.
I would like to see
superpower
Martha do
stuff.
some Ruby Roundhouse kicks.
Dude, have I mentioned I love Karen Gillan? She's so great.
She is.
Mm-hmm.
I love her just slight, innocent awkwardness.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like that's not just acting. I think that's just like a little bit there.
It might be.
Because you see a little bit of that in Nebula, too.
Yeah.
I mean, credit to her. Again, Jack Black, I just... whatever he did throughout the movie, I thought was great. I thought it was a little bit of a waste for him to be Fridge.
Yeah, I didn't like him as Fridge that much.
Fridge's personality is not big like he is, right? Like, it's not quite the same.
Yeah. He had to tone himself down for Fridge, and it just wasn't
It's right.
very Jack Black.
It's kind of blah.
Yeah.
When Jack Black is Bethany,
It's so funny.
that is a reason to see the first one.
Yes, for sure.
And
We're back in Jumanji.
when he was saying stuff, when he was her for like the last third of the movie, I was just losing it. It was
Petty. Can't take it.
oh my gosh. When he's like, Spencer. Nick Jonas makes his return as well, and I thought he played it drastically different this time around.
He was
Even though
so
he was
much
the
more
same
confident.
character, right?
He was so much more confident because he got out and had a real life.
So he had life experience, brought it back into the game.
Yeah. He grew up, had a family, and now he's coming back to save who is he saving? Spencer.
Yeah.
With the gang.
I liked
feel
his
like,
sequence where he was trying to get through kind of Tomb Raider or Uncharted style, that stable, right?
It stressed me out so much that all of them had one life so quickly.
Did you think anyone was going to get killed off?
No.
I don't think so.
I was never really in that mindset either, but I thought...
It does stress
which
me out,
made the... Well, because I never really bought into the fact that I thought someone was going to die, I think it removed that
So-
stress from having that one tattoo left.
I would say I knew that either one or both of the older guys were going to stay in the game.
Sure.
It just made sense to me. Like, they're going to live forever, or at least live out their final days, like, in this universe where they can kind of do whatever they want and have fun.
Yeah.
And,
Oh no, what
be
if someone
young.
kills the horse? Oh.
Well, apparently the horse has 3 lives still. But
Shouldn't he have just gone into that... Well, I guess he couldn't just take someone in that pool and, like, trade with them. But, like, I don't know.
He could have, but
yeah.
I guess
I
kind
think
of a
he wanted
moot
to be
point.
he wanted to be the horse. He wanted to fly.
Yeah.
He's 75 years old and he just learned to fly.
But no, I had a problem though with like, I feel like in the last movie and this one, everyone had 1 life left, and I'm just like, I feel like someone should at least have like an extra life and just be good at the game and just get out. Like, I just like you know that they have 3 lives, you know that they're always gonna end up with 1. Just mix it up a little bit.
I thought the urgency in the first one or the last one,
Yeah.
was better because there were so many funny deaths.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had 1 or
Yeah.
2.
And we
in this
didn't
one.
know if
We didn't
they
know.
would make it out.
Right. And it was just such a different... We thought maybe that was the only one we were going to get.
Yeah.
But now it's almost like that blessing and a curse of making money here. The franchise will continue on, but sometimes you have to sacrifice some of where the direction's going to go because you can't kill off a character in a movie like this, I think.
Yeah.
And make it work.
I don't know. It's kind of family friendly too. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah, it is.
not that like Star Wars isn't people die in Star Wars, but it's just a different feel to it. I think.
It's more casual.
Yeah.
For sure. Reese Darby as Nigel, just limited screen time, just like the first one, but I've always loved him. We loved him back to his Flight of the Conchords days. Flight of the No Chords. He is just pleasant in everything he's in, and I always love him. He's charming. He's got that wonderful accent.
Like a couple of cool looking idiots.
He is my favorite part of Flight of the Conchords. I love when, at the end of the first season, going into the second season, when he becomes like the record manager. That's
very
peak Murray
full
to
of
me.
himself after that. Yeah.
Rory McCann, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you recognize him immediately. He plays the Hound in that series. I imagine neither of you guys were Game of Thrones people.
No.
I am not at all. I did watch my fair share, and he's recognizable. What did you think of him as the villain here? And thinking back to the last Jumanji, that villain as well. I think there's a bit of a weakness there.
Kind of. Maybe because they are video game characters, they're a little bit limited. And they have the same kind of look too, like you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
You can
At
tell
first, I
they've got
didn't
a
know if they
theme.
were the same or not. Like
Yeah.
from the first shot we saw, you knew he was the villain, but I was like, is that the same guy just now with a beard? But it clearly wasn't.
Yeah, I would say he played a good role, and like Jamie said, being like limited in what he can do. I do think that his depth and like his like plot in the movie was like weaker, but they also made him more powerful. He was more of like a boss battle.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Kinda
for
like a
sure.
feel to it. So I think as
For
a
sure.
video game character, it was perfect. I think as if it was a separate movie, they'd be like, okay, this is a weak villain, but he's not the main point of the movie. So
I
And
think
basically, they weren't only fighting him; they were fighting everything to try to stay alive.
it makes sense.
it is funny though. I mean, Joe, you know, in video games how every character is weak except the boss.
Of course.
Like you can just completely like crush every enemy in the game, and then you get the boss, and you're like, oh, I have to do a couple different things.
100%.
Which is great
So
fun.
think back about what we saw towards the end, or really the first interaction between Dwayne Johnson and him, where he like punches him a few times and it really doesn't affect him. That's totally a video game, right?
Yes.
And even the strategy of figuring out his weakness is. I thought that they did such a good job. So there's more strategy involved with this one than the last one.
I thought he was gonna
Yeah.
eat that fruit.
Yeah, I thought he had to like how.
I assumed he would either
Kevin
do that or
Hart-
smash it.
Yeah, like how Kevin Hart had to eat the cake to explode. It felt like.
How I lost it. That may have been the funniest part of the
was
movie.
good.
Oh yeah.
No,
You
no,
wanna
no,
take-
no.
Oh my gosh, I lost it. It was so damn funny.
His weakness is cake.
Even when he gets back at the end,
Oh yeah, and Fridge can't eat the
Nope.
cake.
I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. That's the reason actually Pavlak and I pushed so hard to see Welcome to the Jungle, because we saw the trailer probably no less than 15 times throughout the year because of all the movies we saw. It was at the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
And when he exploded from eating the cake, I lost it every time.
Cake. How's cake a weakness? Strength is my weakness.
I can't wait to revisit that one. I think I'm going to watch that one again. And then another kind of side character for me, John Ross Bowie. Do you guys remember him? He's from Big Bang Theory. Guy with the lisp.
Yes.
Recognize him?
Oh yeah, I
Right.
remembered him. Yeah. His
Also-
hair was so different in this. It was like gray and
facial
spiked
hair
up.
as
yeah.
well, maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a thing.
Was he Nick Jonas's character?
No, he was.
Here, this guy, Tom.
He was the person
it's
who
tough to see a little bit.
introduced Jurgen, and he received the note that told them
Yeah.
that the brothers were held up.
Oh, okay.
So if you watch Big Bang Theory, he's what's his name on there?
Barry Kripke.
Hey, Kripke. I
Well,
say that all the time to people.
Bill
Like, how could I
Kripke?
forget?
that other guy who Nick Jonas's character out of the game. I don't know who the actor
Like
was.
Alex.
back in real life.
Yes.
Alex.
So Alex and Bethany's like relationship is just so weird to me. Like I know there's nothing happening obviously because like he's got a kid and
You
he's
know-
older and like
Do you know
they
who
had,
he
like,
is?
No,
He's Colin Hanks.
I don't know who that is.
Tom Hanks' son.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I thought he looked awkward. Not.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps because he's like a variation of someone I've seen.
But anyway, I know.
You know?
So I know in the first one, in Welcome to the Jungle, like there was like a weird thing between Bethany and his character in the game, and like
She
now
had
that
a
they're out
crush
of the
on
game,
him.
it's like it's not like the crush isn't there, but they have this weird relationship.
They have a
It's just-
connection because Bethany saved
yeah,
his life.
It's just weird. I don't know.
And then he named his daughter Bethany.
Still a lot of like cross the room stares. I'm
Did
not
you?
really feeling.
Refresh my thinking.
Yeah,
so
he named her Bethany.
so
Oh, I know that, but
when they were
she
in
saved-
Jumanji, Alex got bitten by a mosquito and lost his third life. Bethany brought him back to life by giving him CPR and lost one of her lives to give him one.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
they were both down to one, and then they made it out of the game. So he named his daughter Bethany.
Okay.
because he aged and all that stuff.
Yeah, he had his life back.
Yeah, so there's a little bit of a relationship there.
Yeah, I don't think it's weird. I understand the awkwardness, like what
Awkward,
you're
that's a
saying
better
about
word
it,
for it.
but I don't think it's anything inappropriate.
Like, hey, I liked you when you were younger, and now you're older.
Well, she liked his avatar in the game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Talking about the smoldering look that we get from Dwayne Johnson throughout the movie, I thought that was great. That Karen Gillan at first kind of is like turned on by it, then realizes it's not Dwayne Johnson,
Eddie.
it's
He's
actually Danny DeVito. That was pretty damn funny to me. That was a great moment. And then in the Danny DeVito kind of does it through Dwayne Johnson, right?
Yes.
Like this awkward all at the wrong time. And then Danny DeVito actually in the flesh does that at the restaurant at the end.
Oh yeah, and it totally flusters Nora.
Which is funny to me. Like, so he nailed it, right? Like he got the look. He got
Yes.
Nora. I really actually like the depth of their characters, Danny and
Danny.
specifically. And it's like Pete and Pete, right?
Oh yeah.
So those two together, their friendship added a lot. Their fallout and reconciliation, and then of course,
Their goodbye.
yeah, that was really hard. And that could have been done terribly. By the way, that could have been really cheesy. I thought, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a horse.
I know, it wasn't even Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. It was Awkwafina saying goodbye to a horse that couldn't speak
about
English.
that. Like, think about how good that was for
It was
being
so
so
good.
kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Like they really, Awkwafina was wonderful. Like
She
she
was.
nailed both of those roles, just top notch.
It might help that she was shorter.
She was fun to
She had
watch.
the posture and the face and everything.
You know what
She
got me was
really
at the
good.
end when Dwayne Johnson put his arm around Awkwafina and said, "Let's go home, Grandpa."
Yeah.
What?
Didn't you always picture who they really were?
Yes. Yeah, all the time throughout the whole movie.
It's kind of a
You
crazy
guys-
movie.
You pictured that she was going to be...
No.
Like
so,
at the end when we saw Dwayne Johnson put his arm around Awkwafina, I didn't see those two. I subconsciously saw young Spencer and Danny DeVito.
Okay, yeah.
Like just it never seemed out of place to me.
No, it was done well.
And even with why can't I remember Danny Glover's character's name? Probably 'cause it's not
Milo.
in front of me. Milo. So, fun fact, that's what Mariah named her fake finger monkey. That's
Oh,
at the
that's weird.
Yeah. Milo. It's hilarious.
Another shout out to Mariah. and the monkey.
And the monkey. So, don't you dare, Tom.
That just threw me off.
I don't even know
I
where I'm going with
question
it.
her a lot now.
She's a character.
Yeah, she's good people.
Yeah. So, she calls you Thumb. You know,
That's-
sketch it out.
that's my name.
your
That's all-
fault.
that's all I need.
I
I don't like to take credit, but, you know, it's all good.
I'm just owning it now.
Good. Embrace the thumbness.
I gave up on gym years ago. It's just happening.
Don't fight it.
I contested for like a month, and then I was like, you know what? It's fine.
This is not going away, and that's what it is.
Job is ruthless, so just
Or Lord Job. So, with the kind of that end scene where they say goodbye, like I said, it could have been really, really, really cheesy because, again, that was Awkwafina and then that was a horse. But, man, it was emotional. It was really good.
Yes. I agree.
So, everything wrapping up there before it gets kind of crazy at the end with the game coming into the world, which is a nice full circle back to the first Jumanji. All in all, I enjoyed the movie. I'm happy it exists. I hope we get another one. I was joking that it'd be great to get it in 3 years because we think the next Star Wars is coming in 2022. So that would be a perfect little thing if
always
they
go
do those in
hand in hand.
December. That was another reason that I was looking forward to December, aside from Rise of Skywalker, obviously, was that we were getting another Jumanji. So as we've joked, it's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Wrapping up here, any final thoughts on the cast, the story, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we want from the next one, you name it. Anything that we didn't get to at all. What do you want to do to put a bow on this episode of Spoilercast? Very Christmassy today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Put a bow on it.
I don't know. I usually try to go into movies with no expectations. I try to avoid any spoilers going in.
And this was spoiled for you?
No. I'm
Okay.
just saying, so like going in, I liked how I went into this one not knowing what was going to happen. I want that again in the next one. I want to be kind of caught off guard. I want weird things to happen. I think where we would get less video game references in the next movie, which I would love to see more of, because like we said earlier, I love the NPC references and this like kind of quest style of a movie. Like, hey, like they have an objective, they have to do things, they have lives, they have items. It's just just love the concept still. So more of that would be great. If they can add more supporting characters, if they can change out a couple characters, I'd be okay with that. But we also haven't seen that much of the kids as themselves.
Right.
So
Yeah.
maybe I'm just, kind of underestimating them and what their abilities are.
That would be really cool if they did their real world thing with the kids in their actual
Like
characters.
poor Bethany was just useless in this whole movie.
No, she wasn't.
Yeah, she was. She went and got
She was
the guy.
backseat for sure.
Well, the actress herself.
Yeah.
Madison
Madison.
Eisman, looks like her name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jamie, any wrapping thoughts here?
Underutilized, I should say.
Yes, that makes sense. No, I think what Tom said. I would like to see these characters. I don't want them to fully remove the whole being in Jumanji thing, because that's kind of the whole shtick of the movies, and it's awesome. But other than that, no.
I think
that's
it
the
all
end.
dictates what this does at the box office, whether we get another one or not. If
Yeah.
it does anywhere near what the last one did, we'll be getting
We'll
another
get
one.
They could have just
Yeah.
left it on that little cliffhangery thing.
Because they can. We'll get one.
Yeah,
Everything comes in threes now. It
I know.
doesn't really matter.
and money
Or-
dictates all when it comes to it. So if it's going to make, I would say if this one crosses probably 750 million, I don't know that, but that's just kind of my prediction that we'll get a third one based on that, or a fourth one if
Yeah.
that's how we look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoyed the movie very much. I love the supporting cast. I love the original four. I love how Danny Glover and Danny DeVito really added a lot of emotional weight to the story. I think it made it even better. I like the different quest that we had this time around, that we weren't just repeating what we did last time. And I liked a lot of the visual elements. My favorite action sequence probably was the jungle sequence on the swinging walkways.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. And
That was
even
so
using his geometry.
stressful. It felt like geometry. It felt like you were in a video game, watching the bridges change and move. Oh,
For the budget this movie had to, the CGI animals in this movie were like on par, if not better, than like Lion King.
Yeah, they did good.
I mean, maybe not as much as like the fine details, like the hair and the shadows and things. But I mean, those hyenas were beautiful.
The
I mean,
ostriches
the
looked
ostriches,
very-
ostriches were good.
Not the baboons.
What were those
which is a
apes?
common misconception.
Yeah, what-
something with a K.
No idea.
Caviars.
No.
Capuchin
Kamali.
monkeys.
No.
Camarins.
Come on. I don't know.
Calamaris.
I'm not even going to try to look it up.
It's fine. And the ostriches, obviously, it's just beautiful as far as how they, CGI'd those animals. So
They look like they were on Tatooine to you guys.
on the
Or
desert, or-
Jakku, maybe. It looked
Yeah.
like the exact.
Yeah.
And even when I thought it was Dwayne Johnson who popped up first, and it just reminded me of the Force Awakens teaser that we got with Finn
Oh.
when he jumps up.
pops
Oh
up.
my
Like,
gosh.
If you watch the movie, think about that scene or watch for it on the second
Yeah.
watch around.
The new settings were really cool. That's what I meant to mention. I liked the whole like tundra thing, as opposed to.
Oh yeah, I love that at the end, and that is so video gamey again, right? Like
Yeah,
it
the
feels like
different,
they
like,
ripped
worlds.
worlds from.
You can go shopping in Jumanji.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they
Here
just use
25
coins
years.
or something like?
I love that there was strategy elements, RPG, action. Like as a gamer, you really respect those nods.
Yeah.
And I like that they did the snow at the end, so we got a little bit of every environment. Truly, a game design from what you would see in an Uncharted or Tomb Raider game, which was wonderful. So, I want more.
They're called mandrills, by the way.
Mandrills.
I would have never gotten there.
With a K.
Neither would I.
Never in a million years. I thought it began with a K too.
Well, we're not
Well,
zoologists.
after you
K2SO.
said it, I thought so too. Oh, and their added skills and weaknesses were really cool.
So variations, right?
Leveling up, yeah.
I thought they did a nice job with that, and they really built on layer by layer a really nice ensemble cast. Whereas I thought it was good in the first one, but no, it was just bigger and better here.
What are your skills and weaknesses?
Oh my god.
Should I put a graphic up?
Put this
yeah,
down.
you need to. You really do. Copies the weakness.
Okay,
Oh my gosh.
let's see what Tom says.
No, don't look. We're not going to check mine.
Yeah.
We're just not.
So when... Do it.
Hit your chest.
When they did when Nick Jonas goes and frees the horse, like we knew that was going to lead into the end there, right?
Yes,
we just didn't know what that super ability was going to be. But obviously that the horse could fly.
It's cool that he figured it out.
Like the Valkyries from Thor Ragnarok. So we're going to wrap things up here for our Jumanji The Next Level spoiler cast. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're on youtube.com/The Geekiverse or on SoundCloud or iTunes for the audio version. We're going to have another really, really, really big spoiler cast coming up in just about a week or so. We've got one big, huge AAA movie coming out called Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Ever heard of it?
No, what's that?
You should check it out. So that'll be out shortly. We'll have a lot of coverage on Star Wars for that. Speaking of Star Wars, if you enjoy The Mandalorian on Disney Plus, we have a weekly podcast called We Have Spoken, where we mess up sayings all the time.
That is the way.
It's mostly me.
This is the way.
By we, I mean Tom. So that is a weekly discussion. We'd love to get you involved with that. We'll close on a final thought here. Right now, looking ahead to 2020, what's the movie you're most excited for?
John Wick 4.
Is that coming out in 2020?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just excited for it. I think it is.
I don't know what's coming
I was
out.
like, no,
Well,
that's not a 2020 movie.
John Wick 4 and The Matrix 4 are coming out on the same exact day, both starring Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
And
that's right.
John Wick has my vote.
Same.
My goodness, I love those movies.
Yeah, same here.
I love
Birds
Keanu.
of Prey is coming out next year.
Wonder Woman, 1984.
and there's an Artemis Fowl movie coming out.
Black Widow.
I read all those books and I loved them. They're kids spy books. They're so good.
It's going to be John Wick for me.
John Wick's not coming out next year.
What's coming out? When's it coming out?
Oh, Free
21.
Guy. Free Guy is my vote.
Should look it up.
All right. Yeah, I'm
Oh, it is
telling you.
touch screen. That's good.
All right, John Wick Chapter 4 is going to be 2021.
We'll find out. Hold on.
Yep, May 21st,
No.
2021. Sorry.
Darn it! All right, I need the
Sorry.
full list then to see what's coming.
Free
out.
Guy. That's the one.
Yeah, that's your movie.
Free Guy will probably take it for me then.
Yeah.
Although I do want to see David Harbour in the Black Widow movie.
Yeah, I think Black Widow is probably it for me
Yes,
right now.
that's right.
Obviously, Wonder Woman will be great. What about? Do you guys care about Sonic at all?
It looks interesting.
I didn't-
Tonight was the first time I
I don't
saw
think it
preview.
looks super funny. I know that's what
Yeah.
they were going for, but I got to tell you, it's been a long time since I've seen Jim Carrey in a movie, and I'm excited for that.
Yes.
I don't remember the last one. Dumb and Dumber 2, maybe?
I'm sorry. There's a Bill and Ted movie coming out in 2020.
Oh, yeah.
What
Also
is
Keanu.
Keanu's
Keanu.
doing so many things.
He's the best.
Keanu?
He's everywhere.
Keanu has a great year because he's also in Cyberpunk 2077.
And SpongeBob.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's coming out 2020.
Yep.
Let me tell you, Cyberpunk,
Wow.
there has been no bigger game reveal for a character. Just
It was bigger than Norman Reedus.
yes, absolutely. I agree. People lost their minds at E3 last year.
Wonder Woman 1984.
Is that it for you?
I don't know. That Free Guy and another one you guys just mentioned that I can't remember.
Black Widow.
Yes, Black Widow.
I think it's
Those
Black
all
Widow
look
for
really
me,
good.
even over Wonder Woman. As much as I love
My
Wonder Woman,
problem with Wonder Woman is that
Steve Trevor.
Steve Trevor's coming back.
yeah,
You don't know
I
that.
don't know.
You don't know that.
I have no idea.
No,
they didn't even show him
I have no
in
idea
the preview.
what
The
how I
direct-
feel about it.
The
Is what I mean.
director said that he had to come back for the storyline.
Well,
so
okay,
it wasn't
so-
forced. It wasn't just to get him in the movie. So it has something to do with the story.
It's either a flashback or
No,
He's gotta be
punching
somewhat
people in
prominent.
the face in the trailers. He's,
Oh,
he's
I
in
didn't
the
see him in the
movie. He's-
trailer.
Yeah, he's physically there.
Okay, I saw a
So
different
this is
trailer
gonna
than
be
you.
Interesting, but we'll see. I don't know. If, maybe it's Loki. We'll find out.
Maybe it's Loki.
Just DC trying to copy Marvel now.
Just
Maybe
crossing
it's
over here.
Loki.
Whatever the Loki equivalent is of the Greek gods.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know. So we want to hear your thoughts about Jumanji: The Next Level, as well as your most anticipated movie for 2020. Leave a comment below. Check us out at facebook.com/thegeekiverse. That's our most active community currently. So we'd love to hear from you there. For Tom, for Jamie, I'm Josiah. We appreciate you listening in and watching. Hope you have a very, very Merry Christmas as well as a Happy New Year. And we'll catch you soon.
Jumanji thanks you. I think it's all of Jumanji thanks you. All of Jumanji thanks you.
Are you done?
No, I could keep going.
Goodbye.